So this is going to be my first attempt at an unboxing and first impression of a knife. So as you can see, this box is still sealed. I apologize if you hear my dogs barking in the background. I just can't wait any longer to open it. I'm a little bit too excited. As you can see, I purchased this particular product from a seller on eBay. They are an authorized seller of Chris Reeves knives, and this will be my first Chris Reeves knife that I've ever purchased or owned. So I've been looking at them for some time. The price has always been a little high for me, but finally I pulled the trigger, and you're going to see which one I decided to get. And hopefully this is informative for some of you, as I've never seen a video yet of anyone reviewing or receiving this particular product yet. All right, so let's go ahead and crack this bad boy open. And as you'll see from my one other video so far, I'm using my TRM Atom, which is still one of my favorite knives. I have done some minor modifications to this. I've put the red micarta scales on. I anodized all the titanium with the blue, and I recently acid stone etched the blade. So that's what you're looking at right here, and that's what I'm going to use to open this box up. So let's see. Careful not to damage any of the contents. I'm not sure how much is in there as far as filler space or packaging materials. Let's see. All right, well, not much at all, so I'm glad I was careful, although there is some dead space there. All right, so go ahead and take it out and get this box out of the way. All right, so if anyone's looking, I did go through Action Concepts, which is a store through eBay. Looks good to go. They have a lot of positive reviews. So for those of you wondering, I'll show you right here. I've got the large Sebenza 31 with the Black Canvas Micarta Inlay and the drop point. So I've been looking at the Sebenzas for a long time. I like the 21s, and I've been going back and forth as far as which one I was going to get. And then the 31s became available. The price point was a little closer to what I was looking at because of the 10% discount and saving on tax. So lo and behold, here I am, I pulled the trigger. So as always, I'm sure you guys are even more familiar than I am. The Chris Reeves knives, the presentation, the box is very clean, very nice. Okay, let's go ahead and open her up and see what's like inside. So first thing, we've got some information that I've seen in countless review videos, so go ahead and open that up. So right here, you'll see it has a birthday of, wow, just a little less than a month ago. So on March 4th, there it is. The good old birthday of the Chris Reeves knives. Got the drop point, the CPM S35 VN steel, and the Black Canvas Micarta Inlay. All right, guys, I'm getting pretty excited here. And then it gives you the care notes as well as the different assembly parts if you were looking to maintain it, which the one thing nice about Chris Reeves, the Sebenzas has always been, from what I've seen in videos, is they encourage it. You're able to do it. They're meant to be workhorses, and they go back together with such tight tolerances, you don't have to worry about anything. So I'm very excited about that. Then over here, you get your registration card as well as what looks like a sticker. All right, let's put that off to the side. Nice. All right, guys, here we go. We're getting into the good stuff now. So within the care instructions right here, they give the fluorinated grease because within their massive pivots and the way they've got their washers set up, they actually typically apply grease instead of just an oil, although you can use a heavier weight oil from what I've seen. And they give you the one tool and only one tool that's needed to disassembly and reassemble the knife. All right, let's see. Very nicely wrapped. I gotta say, now, once again, I'm sure for a lot of you, this is old news. I myself have seen countless videos on Chris Reeve knives. Knives have become, just like I'm sure for many of you, for the couple of people that may see this video, an addiction. I love the sound of them. I love the feel of them. Everything about them. I can appreciate them mechanically, functionality, just absolutely everything. Presentation's cool as far as what you get in the box and so forth. But I gotta tell you, just this right here, the way it's wrapped up, nice and neat and tight, that's cool. But once again, my first Chris Reeve, probably not yours, so I might be a little more excited about this silly stuff than what I should be. All right, guys, so let's open her up. Wow. That is gorgeous. The centering is dead on. One of the differences with the 31 compared to the 21 in the past is the off-centered clip, so it's no longer going straight down along the lock bar. So that way it acts as a over travel stop, and no matter how you hold it, you won't be putting pressure on the lock bar, preventing you from engaging the knife. Okay, so you'll see here, once again, I've got the Black Canvas Micarta Inlay. The design of the black canvas on the 31s, in my opinion, is just amazing, and what I didn't think was even possible, but it is a huge improvement over the 21s, because now you've got this huge singular surface here, which I love the look of it. I'm sure the feel of it, once I get into opening this knife, I'll appreciate that as well. But they were able to accomplish this because they took out the machining hole that used to be over here, which prevented them from having the solid strip. So before, as you know, once again, I'm preaching to the choir, the people that might even watch this video, you guys have seen a million of these videos, but the old 21s had the two strips because of the machining hole that required that. They did away with the machining hole, they've updated their process, and therefore you now have this gorgeous single inlay across the front. And there are other ones available I've seen, but the Black Canvas Micarta, the look of the finish, was always my preferred one. If not, I would look for one of the fancier woods, but at the same time, this is still for my very first Chris Reeve. Who knows if it'd be my last, maybe another 25 years from now I'll get one. But this right here is beautiful. And then on the back, you got the same singular piece of inlay, similar to how the 21 was, but now you got the clip which angles off to the side instead of straight down the lock bar. It comes with a very nice tight lanyard, already through the lanyard hole with the lanyard pin in place. And I chose this stock, so there's nothing customized about this right here whatsoever. I know if you go through Chris Reeve directly, you can customize whether or not you get double lug, single lug, ano, and so forth. I love the look of the blue ano, and if I was to do anything different from this, I'm sure I would include an ano. But at the same time, like I said, this knife right here as it stands is exactly what I was looking for my first brand new purchase, at least. And from what I've understood is the ano, especially on the thumb studs, they do eventually fade and wear down, which just from use. So I actually like the idea of the silver thumb stud for now. I do have some other thoughts for future purchase once some of the more custom 31s become available through other retailers that I've liked from the 21s. But for now, this is it, folks. All right. So this is going to be my first time opening, as you saw. Wow. Yep. It's smooth, as you would expect from a Chris Reeve knife. Got the beautiful drop point blade. Gorgeous and functional jimping up on the top of the blade. You can see nice, very large stop pin. And on the opposite side of the single thumb stud is, I actually like the looks of that. You see the recessed area from where the second thumb stud, if you were to order it custom, would be placed. Okay. So let's see here for disengagement. Oh, and before I close it, wow, that's a solid lockup. So that lockup is, from what I can tell, that's pretty darn close to right about 50%. This knife, yeah, that's not going anywhere. I can already tell and understand why people say what they say about these things. It's built like a tank. It feels amazing in my hand. Now, I know some people, I've got a pretty big hand, but some people might fit better with a smaller Sebenza, which they do offer these exact same options on the small Sebenza 31. I did see those through the website as well, on eBay, excuse me. Through this particular retailer, they had a few options for their Sebenzas. But I'm not a small knife kind of guy. So this right here is exactly the fit and feel of what I like when it comes to a knife. That's nice. All right, so let's see. Lock bar is nice and easy to disengage. I don't know if I can capture it or not, but you can see here, dead center, amazing tight tolerances, as I've always understood to be. And just like everyone that I've ever watched a video talks about, I've heard the word hydraulic mentioned countless times, and that's exactly what it feels like. Not quite flippy yet, but at the same time, it literally just came out of the box. I'm sure I could loosen the pivot a hair if I wanted to, but I actually did not get this to be a flipper. I got it to enjoy that opening, and you know, if I choose to break it in a little bit more for that purpose, obviously it will, but at the same time, with those tolerances, I can loosen the pivot a little bit if I want to, and I'll get a little bit more, yeah, that thing, it's not going anywhere from a flip. And I've got a pretty decent sized hand, like I said, and pretty strong. But I'm not going to mess with that right now. I will, I'm sure, sometime off camera, be playing around and see if I can loosen that up just a little bit. But right now, it really does feel so good opening up. And it's got a nice detemp. Here, let's see. You can hear that. Lock bar, very easy to disengage. And you can see here on the side, very generous cutout from the other side to reach the lock bar, so your thumb gets in there nice and easy. And then, so folks, obviously I'm not going to be a professional reviewer. I'm not looking to give you the specs. I'm not looking to give you every little itty bitty nuance that a million people have already done before. This is solely an unboxing video, as well as kind of an overview, first impression of what was my grail knife, out of pure excitement that I have it in my hand. So I will maybe make a few more videos because I have some other surprises coming my way that I've been lucky enough to acquire. But this right here was a very big purchase for me. Actually, the most expensive purchase for a knife that I've ever made personally, and it's beautiful. The craftsmanship does not disappoint. So, and I understand that Chris Reeve, you can send your knives back in for warranty work at any time. They do the spa treatments where they can do the stone blast again, touch up the blade. They can do all those things that, I'm sure there's a price that I don't know. But, all right, folks, here, I'll give you a little close up here before I say we're done. I've never had a knife where I've worried about carrying a lanyard, but I gotta say that is kind of it's a neat thing. I can see why they include them. I'm not gonna go crazy and start spending a couple $100 on beads, but if you do, that's your prerogative. It just isn't mine. Just a very, very beautiful blade. One thing I realized, which I probably have known this from the past times of watching countless videos, but nowhere on the blade is there any branding or any of anything to reflect who makes the knife, the type of steel or anything, which I gotta say, it does give it that very clean look. I'm enjoying that. But obviously on this side, you can see you've got the Chris Reeve logo. And then on the back, you have your Idaho made. I guess I'll do a quick side comparison for those of you that have an Atom, which I highly recommend. This is my first Chris Reeve knife. This is my first TRM Atom. I am a member of the Tycoon group on Facebook, where the TRM staff are awesomely present on a daily basis, as well as fantastic groups of members that have a wonderful dialogue, very respectful of one another. If you're looking to make a purchase of a TRM product and you maybe missed out on their drops, there are products that become available on their website. They sell scales occasionally. There's fun contests on Fridays, all kinds of neat things. And it gives you really a good experience of seeing what a great company is like that grew from being a small family-ran company to still having that family-ran mentality, but has grown into such a tremendous reputable company based on their products and their customer service. Because let me tell you what, customer service wise, nothing has beaten a TRM yet in my experience. Three Rivers manufacturing is superior to anything else I've dealt with. Maybe Chris Reeves is wonderful as well. I haven't dealt with them yet. Like I said, brand new product here, but the communication that happens from TRM is fantastic. So much so that I ended up purchasing one of their other knives that was a collaboration with RJ Martin, which was the Machine, and they've been fantastic for communicating about that knife as well. So TRM, awesome. Can't recommend them enough. And folks, that is it. Hope some of you found this useful. If nothing else, at least exciting to see 31 in video of in someone's home that they've actually acquired it, because personally, at least for the time that I've been stalking the internet, I haven't come across anything other than Blade Show or the base models. So there's the Black Canvas Micarta. It is a very smooth finish. I will say that even though it looks quite textured, it is smooth to the touch. But at the same time, when you're holding it, the way my hands at least fall, it does give that extra width to the handle and nice grip. So when I lock into this knife, let me tell you, it's not going anywhere. Okay, so there you go, guys. What will be, I'm sure, for a very long time, two of my favorite knives. Thanks for watching.